This is NewsX. I'm Rishabh Gulati. We've been overloaded with so much information rapidly coming our way. Let's do a breakdown of what has happened, the full story of the Delhi 10/11 Red Fort blast. On your screens, this is Mohammad Omar. He is the driver of the I-20 Hyundai white car registered in Gurugram that was containing the bomb that blew up outside the metro of Red Fort. He is the son of Nabi Bhatt and Shamima Banu in Pulwama, Mohammad Umar. He was born on the 24th of February in Pulwama in 1989. He has two brothers and an elder sister. His sister-in-law has spoken to us and described him as a bookworm. For some reason, the family claims no knowledge of what all activities he was involved in, but the truth now is that he just blew himself up outside the Red Fort, killing and maiming other innocent civilians. He last spoke to his family on the 7th of November, which is just a few days ago, right before the raids took place in Faridabad and the arrests that happened subsequently of the other gang of doctors that were running this terror cell. This is his registration certificate as a doctor, Dr. Umar Nabi, son of Ghulam Nabi Bhatt, MBBS from Government Medical College, Srinagar. On January 2017, he graduated. He got his doctor's registration, MBBS registration done on the 7th of March 2018. As mentioned, he is from Pulwama in Jammu and Kashmir. So a qualified doctor. He was working as a senior resident at the Government Medical College in Srinagar. He then became assistant professor at the Al Falah Medical College in Faridabad. That's where the other gang of doctors who were running the terror factory were also working. He fled Faridabad after the arrest of the man on the right side of your screens, Dr. Shakil, who was also working at the Al Falah Medical College in Faridabad. So the root of this terror cell seems to have been this Al Falah Medical College, which itself now requires investigation. Now, we've been able to trace what happened. He entered Delhi as one would if you're coming from Faridabad from the Badarpur border, heading towards the Red Fort Jama Masjid area. This is the CCTV footage taken from the parking lot outside the Sunehri Masjid at the entrance of the Red Fort at 6:23 p.m. is what the timestamp tells us. You see the black cab that is exiting. Behind the black cab, in front of the tourist bus, is a white colored Hyundai i20 car. One single individual is driving the car. There are no passengers. That individual is wearing a black jacket, a blue shirt, has a black mask on his face. He rolls down his window and pays for parking. He waits for change, takes the receipt. He then very casually collects the change and the receipt. He leans out of the window at that point of time, looking towards the man who's going to give him the change. He at this point knows exactly what he's bound to do. He tosses the change and the receipt on the passenger seat and drives off. 6:23 p.m. is the timestamp as he exits. There you have it. Dark jacket, blue shirt, black mask on his face. This is the last moment he was caught on camera before the explosion took place around about 15-20 minutes later. Tells its own story. Now, This is what happens. At the bottom of your screens is the Sunehri Masjid. To the right of that is the parking, which is also the entrance for the Red Fort from Delhi Gate. He exits the parking lot, goes past the Sunehri Masjid, heading due west, then turns on the Netaji Subhash Road, heading north-northwest, heading towards the Lahori Gate of the Red Fort, passing the August 15th Park. The Lahori Gate, you would recall, is the place from which the Prime Minister of the country makes his speech on Independence Day. He heads down Netaji Subhash Marg, covering a distance of just under 2 kilometers. At the Choraha, where you take a left and you head into Chandni Chowk and Dariba and familiar places for people of Delhi, past Meena Bazaar, he hits the Red Fort metro station. The car is moving, it's still driving in traffic, when at about 6:51 p.m. it explodes in a massive explosion. So 3:19 p.m. the car entered the parking lot of Sunehri Masjid. We are being told that for the balance 3 hours until he left, the man kept sitting in the car. He never exited the car. He kept sitting there for 3 hours, waiting to leave, waiting for rush hour, waiting for the crowds to increase before he headed out. 3 hours 30 minutes is how long he was in the car. As I mentioned, black jacket, blue t-shirt, black mask. Now this is the metro gate, the blast location, about 100 odd meters from the Gauri Shankar temple and the Jain temple, which are on the other side of the road. Where it says blast location, right at the top, which is over here, is the gate number 1 of the old fort metro station, which was completely shattered by the explosion. And of course, 6:48 p.m. when it exited the parking slot from Sunehri Masjid and was en route, he was spotted again on CCTV. You can see the CCTV footage there, catching this Hyundai i20. It's heading towards the Red Fort. There are autos and e-rickshaws surrounding the car, as they would in that part of Delhi at any point of time. Now this is what has been recovered, what has been left of the car. This is the rear door of the vehicle. It is suspected that this is where the bomb was placed. It was a CNG car, but the bomb was placed either in the back seat or in the boot, and this is the mangled remain of the rear door, which has been recovered by the FSL and forensic team. This is all the few parts of the car that have been recovered. This is the i20 logo from the front of the car, which was recovered this morning. That's all that's left of the car. Small piece of plastic with the recognizable logo. That's the steering wheel. Mangled piece of round metal, which was recovered from the footpath near the blast location. This is the debris, including the wiring from the car, which was found on the opposite footpath. So little bits of debris of a car that no longer exists. You can see here the police recovering one of the side doors of the car, completely mangled, its glass missing, its internal paneling, everything missing, torn to shreds. Now this is the moment of the blast. Watch this. You can see that this reporter who was interviewing someone down the road a couple of 100 meters away, the part we have circled is when the blast cushion wave goes past them and ruffles their hair like a breeze, a strong breeze. Have a look at this. So that's the moment of the blast. Now, this is from the CCTV footage taken from a nearby shop. You can see the timestamp over here, 18:51:52, and you can see people running, some of them seeking cover inside shops. Look at this. There, that's the moment. Thankfully, there was no stampede. You can see 10, 15, 20 people have rushed into the shop. Others are running away. There's some women there with babes in their arms, little children, girls, rediwalas fleeing the spot at the moment of the blast. Some seeking shelter inside the shop, others running away in the opposite direction. Something has happened, but they don't know the gravity of what has just happened. Before the blast, 2 seconds later, after the blast, left side of your screen, right side of your screen, this has happened at now have a look, the timestamps vary in this case, there you see it. Windows, cabinets shattered in these bylanes of the Riba as people run away from the spot. It shows you the intensity of the explosion. Watch again. The camera shakes, the windows shatter, the glass cabinets shake and shatter. People run away, and within seconds it empties out. The shopkeepers rush inside. They know something has gone wrong. They don't know yet what has happened. Now, this was the car. Its registered owner was Mohammed Salman. The registration date of the car was the 18th of March 2014. It was manufactured, it's a 2013 model of this Hyundai i20. It was registered to operate in terms of taxation till 15 February 2029. The registered address was house number 631 by 21, 3rd floor, Shanti Nagar in Gurgaon, pin code 122001. Now, this is the car. It was listed on OLX, which is a second-hand online marketplace in India, for sale. There you have it, HR26CE7674. That's the advertorial showcasing it for sale. Mohammed Salman was the person who bought the car new. He sold it to a Devinder in the March of 2025, this year. Immediately after, an unknown person in Ambala procured the car. It was then procured by an agency called Royal Car Zone, and the person working there was called Sonu, who is now currently in custody, also in March. So it changed hand 4 times in a few weeks. Now, it can happen, but in this case we know something insidious was going on. Then finally it was purchased by Muhammad Amir, who was the brother of Muhammad Umar, who was the driver, the terrorist who blew the car up. At no point of time was the registration changed. At no point of time was the number of the car changed. So there was no tracing. All of it was done on informal paperwork and the exchange of monies. Here is the brother of Muhammad Omar, Amir Dar, resident of Pulwama, who bought the car, as you can clearly see from the Royal Car Zone, from somebody called Sonu, photographing himself as he purchases his car. He then handed his car over to his brother Omar, who was living in Faridabad. Now, this car was tracked on September 20th on toll booth cameras and CCTVs in Faridabad. It also received a challan in Faridabad. There you have it, HR26CE7674. This was a wrong parking challan. It was issued at Sector 37 Block D, Tikona Park, Molar Band extension in Faridabad. So the car was operating in Faridabad. Now, what was the cell operating? It begins with Dr. Adil Ahmed Radar. He is a resident of Qazi Kund from Kulgaon in Jammu and Kashmir. Adil Ahmed Radar was caught on CCTV putting up posters supporting the Jaish-e-Mohammed. He served as a senior resident at the Government Medical College in Anantnag until October 2024. When his college storage unit, locker, was raided by the police after his arrest, this is what they found. They found a stethoscope and an AK-47 rifle with magazines and a few rubber gloves. This was taken from the Government Medical College in Anantnag. He had walked in and stored an AK-47 rifle. And he had kept that locker for some reason, even months after he had left the college. He began working as a medicine specialist at a private hospital in Saharanpur on Ambala Road, where he fled after he was putting up the posters in Anantnag. He was spotted putting up those posters on October 27th, so just about a fortnight ago. This is the point of time of when he was arrested. And after the arrest, he squealed. He is the one on November 6th, when he was arrested, revealed the information of the terror cells that were operating. His confession led to the arrest of Dr. Muzammil Shakil, who also happened to work in the Al-Falah School of Medical Science and Research in Faridabad. He was an MBBS lecturer and faculty member. From Muzammil Shakil's rented house in Dhauj village, about 3 months before the blast, this was what was recovered. Approximately 350 kilograms, and these are the actual photographs, 350 kilograms of ammonium nitrate, ammunition, pistols, a Krinkov rifle, magazines. These were recovered on the 9th of November. AK-47 assault rifle, 20 timers, 4 batteries and a walkie-talkie set were also recovered. He was then arrested on the 30th of October. Dr. Shaheen Shahid, a resident of Lal Bagh in Lucknow, UP, was then subsequently also arrested. She had purchased the Maruti Brezza car a few months ago. She is accused of transporting the explosives and providing logistical support to this gang of doctors at the Al-Falah Medical College. She was arrested after weapons were found in her car, including, this is the actual photograph of the pistol that was recovered along with ammunition in Faridabad. So this is the plot that unfolded, finally resulting in the blast that took place at the Red Fort on the evening that has killed 8 people, including the terrorist who perpetrated the blast, and injured 20 others. That's the full story.